One of the most popular gel ball blasters out in the United States is this here, Splatrball brand. High demand product right now, really short supply. So I know a lot of you have these, a lot of you want these. So I like to show you some videos about them because that's where I get a lot of views and that's where I get a lot of questions. So one of the things you see me do is I use an 11.1 volt battery in a lot of my gel ball blasters that are better blasters, at least by USA standards. These are good blasters. These are performance blasters for us. And you need to be very careful doing that. I have many blasters, as you can see from my videos. I don't play with one for an extended period of time. I, run through several magazines with an 11.1 volt battery at a time, and then I have no issue. If you're playing heavy with these, you're using these for hours on end, you will probably, with this specific gun, hurt it if you're using 11.1 for an hour in a row. Okay, it's just not going to probably hold up to that. So do that at your own risk if you're using it that often. But another way you could use this mod is if you are playing a lot, this is your primary blaster, you're going through a lot of batteries, you could get a large capacity 7.4 volt battery. So this is a 2200 mAh, 11.1 volt, but you could get a 7.4 volt, like a 5500 mAh, it would still fit in this battery box. It would last a long time because that mAh rating is about battery capacity. Okay, that's about how long your battery is going to last when you're using it. So that's another way you could use this modification and you wouldn't be putting your blaster at risk. Okay, so keep that in mind. Again, if you're going to use an 11.14 or 11.1 volt battery, just know you definitely can hurt your blaster. Do so at your own risk. I'm not advising you do it. Don't do it if breaking your blaster would ruin your life. Got it? So what I've done here before is I've got some different 3D printed parts, right? And I just had the battery harness coming through a hole in the 3D printed battery door. And I just didn't like how that looked. I wanted to make it prettier. As I learned more and more about this, more and more about the electronics to do with it, I wanted to figure out a way to make it look nicer. So what I did is I wired this with a JST plug. So these are called JST plugs. This factory plug is a JST. It's a two-prong JST plug. A lot of the batteries out there and all the ones that I have use what's called a Dean's plug. That is what this is. These are Dean's plugs. Now, all high capacity batteries or 11.1s don't have Dean's plugs. There's several other different plugs on the market. If you have one with a Dean's plug, you can find on Amazon Dean's to JST converter plugs, right? And those will go ahead and make it easy for you to adapt your battery to the Splatrball plug factory there. This is what those look like. So this came from Amazon like this, okay? And you can see here, this doesn't look identical to this, but it serves the exact same purpose, and that is what it's for. So you just want to make sure you're lining up. If you're going to use one of these, that your black is going to the black and your red is going to the red, and just make sure those pins get in those holes. Now you can go ahead and use that to adapt to your Dean's plug battery. Okay, so that's how that goes. A lot of people ask that question a lot. Okay, and again, you can see it's not quite the same, but it is actually it does what it's supposed to do, and it is a Dean's to JST conversion, right? So what I did instead, though, is I wanted to use this little auxiliary plug. Just looks a little more elegant. It looks nicer. So I wired this so that this has a JST that can plug in there. And then what I'll do is I'll stick this on here. So flip this down. So this actually is like the identical plug that you've seen I'm using right there. I'm going to go ahead and put the door on. So if any of you are printing these doors, they almost never print perfect, and you are going to probably have to do some sanding to get them to fit. All right, got that to click on and lock. And then you can see here is my auxiliary, and that's where I'm going to be plugging my battery in, okay? So let's talk about that. So I have a little battery box here, not a little battery box, a big battery box here, probably way bigger than it needs to be. This was one of the first ones I made. I was still just trying to figure out how to get them to accommodate the battery that I had. I'm not great with CAD, and I was just doing some changes that were easy for me to do on my 3D printer. So this one has plenty of extra room. If you were to print one this size, you could fit a giant 11.1 or giant 7.4 battery in there. So just going to leave as much wire as I can inside the box. And again, I'll be able to tuck more back in once I put it on. All right. I'm not going to screw those in for now. But so you can see this piece here is just going to slide on the rail. And this rail, I do need to learn, or I just need to secure it on better. Because right now it's just, it moves around a little bit, which is okay for this video. But if I was running around with this, I definitely would want it to be on here a bit stronger, right? So I'd slide this on. Oh, that popped off. That's all right. We'll just go ahead and slide this on. I'm going to just lift it up off screen here slightly and slide that battery on all the way. So that's made that it can slide all the way back like that. I don't want it to in this case. I'll push it forward. All right. There we go. There. So I'd push it forward like that. I'd put my door on, and this would plug in. So yeah, that wasn't super smooth, but obviously I would make that look a lot prettier. I'd line things up so that that can be pushed back like right to about here. So this is where this box maybe is a little long because it's going to go right up against that. However, not a big deal. I would just tighten this down on here. There's still plenty of stability because that whole rail is on there. So we're good to go. There you go. You can hear how it works. So that is kind of the large battery mod with a pretty auxiliary plug for the battery. So let me know what you guys think. If you've got other ideas you'd like me to try with the Splatrball, I'll certainly try them. When it comes to opening it up and messing with the gearbox, they've made it so there's not a lot you can do with that easily. There's not a lot of parts around, or any that I know of. So if you guys know, put those in the comments. If you got questions, let me know. And of course, like the videos, and of course, enter the contest, and good luck to all of you.